Hey guys, Ramsey here. Welcome to a Friday night stream. I just thought I'd kind of do a random stream on a Friday night and test the remaining four fragrances that was sent to me by my perfume god person. So I know probably a lot of you guys are out uh, partying, having a good time on a Friday night, but I've got some free time. I just got back from my parents' house. It was a family member's birthday, and so we kind of had a quick celebration with the family. And I had some free time, so I figured, what the heck? I'd do a random Friday night stream and talk about some of these fragrances that were sent to me. And blind sniffing perfume is actually one of my favorite ways to test fragrances. So I've got the perfume key right here, and I've got the fragrance samples. Thanks for joining, Rizzle. So today we're going to test fragrance samples 5, 6, 7, and 8. So that's exciting stuff. There was actually the first go around here. Let me pull out the perfume key, and I need something to block the key. What did I use last time? I used this. Okay. I used the Rania J sample set last time to block the perfume key. What's happening, Shiva? So today I did a video on zoologist civet. It was my scent of the day. And I really enjoyed it. Everyone called it like a grandma style Chypre or whatever. What are some of your favorite Chypres? Leave it in the comments. I'd love to know. I'd love to know if I know there is one Chypre that I'm missing that is absolutely a must. And it's Ariza El Lagrad Chypre Mousse, I believe it's called. That is on my list. What's happening, Dunk? You shooting some pool tonight, brother? So yeah, so the first go around, let me open this up and hide these names without displaying them. So there was, without me seeing number 5. Okay, so there was the first 4. I don't know if you can see that, but the first one was Oud 74 by Swiss Arabian, which was actually a pretty damn good cheapy oud. And I really enjoyed that. That went on my left wrist last time. My right wrist was Oud 777, which felt more like an amber to me. It really felt like Stefan Umber Lucas's take on, something like Ambre Sultan, which I love that type of fragrance. Number 3 was Oud 7 by Maitrier Premier. And if you want to see a fragrance just get absolutely annihilated, I mean, I nuked that fragrance from orbit before I even knew what it was. Go watch that last live stream when I uncovered what number 3 was. It was about the most damning thing I think anyone could ever say for a brand. That's the brand that did that Falcon leather that everyone but Zhao hated. And number 4 was Ilm by Chemi Blending Magic. And I think someone left a comment saying that Ilm is an Arabic word meaning enlightenment or something. So I did like the Chemi, but I don't think I would buy it. And especially since, Chemi is they are a subsidiary of Xerjoff. Many people don't know that, but they are. And you know me and Xerjoff, we don't really mix too well. Civet is nice. I don't like it up close, but it's a great spray and go fragrance. I feel the same with Koros. You feel the same with Koros? Spray and go fragrance. Maybe the new Koros that's kind of lost its armor and its teeth. But the old Koros, man, that stuff lasts all day on me. It stays animalic. I love it. I absolutely love it. Bobby Ono, what's happening, man? Melbourne, Australia. Nice. Welcome, Georgie. Glad to have you. So that was my scent of the day, and that's our plan. Is we're just going to do a quick stream, and we're going to test these fragrances out. Number 5, number 6, number 7, and number 8. So we'll do the same wrist, inside elbow, inside elbow. What's happening, Antonio? Hope you're doing well, man. Happy Friday. So that's the plan. Is I want to see what these are like. Yes, that's right. Only way to be sure. Matria Premier, that brand, man. I mean, what a blasting I gave it without even knowing. That might be one of the worst things that might be worse than the Symphonium video. It's because the magic that is Civet's best experience in its sillage. Interesting. I prefer smelling the shit out of Koros, to be honest with you. And I don't get much civet in civet, believe it or not. I mean, it's there in the base, I can tell, but I really kind of got to go hunting for it. Kind of like Roja's Chiffre Extraordinaire. I think these two are kind of in the same category. And since I have a Discovery Atomizer of Chiffre Extraordinaire, and it's not my favorite anyway, I like a little bit more, I like a little more teeth to my Chiffres. Milton Lloyd, the man silver, is a dupe. I heard about that. Yeah, I heard about Milton Lloyd, the man silver. $7 on eBay. Damn, that might be one to just grab just because. But I have so many bottles of vintage Koros. I don't know if I'd want a dupe. You know what I mean? Like, I'd feel kind of dumb wearing the dupe when I have the real fragrance just sitting there under lock and key. So, but let's get this party started. I want to see how this fragrance starts breaking down. So again, we're blind sniffing samples thanks to my perfume god person. And he picked some good ones to start. They were all ouds. I assume they're all going to be ouds. So yeah, they're all ouds. But let's see what number 5 is. Let me at least let this start breaking down on my skin here. All right. Here we go. This is actually my favorite way to test perfume because you remove all the mental gymnastics that the fragrance companies do with you. Ooh, that is spicy and cuminy in the beginning. A lot of spices. God, this smells somewhat familiar. I wonder if I've smelled this before. Where's my pen? Can't take notes without my pen. All right, you will do. So number 4 has this, or number 5, sorry. Number 5 has this, God, this smells familiar. You know what the leather in this smells like? It smells like a Cartier leather. It smells a little bit like the leather or the, it smells a little bit like the cumin in Declaration Parfum. That's what it smells like. But with an oud twist. I wonder if this is a Cartier oud. I haven't smelled any of the Cartier ouds before. Or it might, you know what else? It might also smell like it might also smell like the cumin oud combo in L'Artisan's Al Oud. That's the kind of spicy opening I'm getting. Something somewhere in between these two. Something like this and this is my guess. But with an oud twist. And the fact that I haven't smelled any of the Cartier ouds puts me at a little bit of a disadvantage blind sniffing this. What's up, Abe? Thanks for joining, man. Yeah, I like the number system too. Man, if you twisted my arm and made me guess what this was, I would really guess this is a Cartier oud. Because the spices, and it reminds me of the leather. You know how this has this leathery, cuminy facet to it, this Cartier Declaration Parfum? It really smells like the same style, the same molecules. It's hard to get in the U.S., Dunk. I didn't know that. Man, I don't know. I don't know if I have much more to add to this other than it's very spicy, very cuminy in the Declaration style, but with an oud twist. This has to be a Cartier. If this is a Cartier, I should just quit right now because I don't think I'll be able to guess any of the other ones because I don't think I've smelled any of these, or at least I think they were fragrances that The person who sent them to me said that a dupe of Antaeus from Dua called Blast from the Past. Dude, just wear your Antaeus. Don't you have Antaeus? I think the person that sent these to me said that they were all fragrances that he had not heard me talk about on the channel before. So I don't think I will have sniffed this. All right, I gotta know. Let's see. Let's do the big unveil. Ready? What's it say? Oud by, does that say Oud by Frank Bachlet? Oud by Frank Bachlet. All right, I was wrong. I'm not going to do the fadeaway Jordan walk off. It was not a Cartier Oud. It was Oud by Frank Bachlet, which is, I actually have a Frank Bachlet fragrance. Where are you, Frank Bachlet? Here you are. So I've got tobacco, but this is the only one from the house I've smelled. I haven't smelled any of the others. This is not bad. It's not bad. The ingredients don't smell cheap or anything like that. Let me look this one up. Let's see what it says here. So we've got Frank Bachlet. Frank Bachlet Oud. (2013). Woody, spicy, clove, ginger, cumin, oud, patchouli, and cedar. Very simple, but effective. Very spicy in the opening. It really reminds me of Declaration in the opening. Really, really does. Interestingly enough, Frank Bachlet showed up in that Ghost Perfumers book. If you guys ever read that. The Ghost Perfumer, Frank Bachlet showed up in there because he was like a distributor or something, I think, before he had his own brand. It's interesting how these, characters keep coming up over and over again in the fragrance game. They, like someone left me a message on a previous video, and they said that Frederick Maul's grandmother maybe was involved in the founding of Dior somehow, which is crazy, or his grandfather was as well. So yeah, if that's, I didn't realize that, but if that's true, that's just nuts. So it's weird how these characters keep coming up. And Frank Bachlet, I think, is one of those characters where before he had his own brand, he was like a distributor or something, I think. But this is good. It's not bad. I don't think I would buy a bottle, but I'm glad to get to sniff it. So thank you to the perfume god people. What have you guys been wearing? Leave your sense of the day in the chat. I'd love to know. Love to kind of see if you guys are rocking some stuff I've never sniffed before. Fadeaway Jordan moving right to left is bonkers difficult. Yes. The fadeaway Jordan jumper did not work that time. Maybe I'll get one of these, but I mean, I swear I have no clue what I've got them covered up. And interestingly enough, out of this whole list so far, I think the one that actually did not smell like oud is my favorite one. Oud 777 by Stefan Humbert Lucas is a beautiful amber. That was good enough. I may actually look into a bottle of that. What's happening, Irregular Tangent? Thanks for joining. Drop your scent of the day in the chat. Want to know what you guys are wearing. It's finally in the 40s and 50s here in Texas. It's actually going to get below freezing tonight. So I'm excited to wear some heavy stuff. I might rock something really rich tomorrow. I can basically wear any of my heavy scents and not feel, maybe I'll wear this Cartier Declaration Parfum. It's been a while since I've worn this. I think it's been since last winter, actually. That's the thing with having a big collection, is there's many times if you try to wear a lot of stuff and you don't try to wear the same thing over and over again, it'll be a year. If I went one fragrance and never wore it again until I wore other fragrances in my collection, it would be 2 years before I wore it. So I have to kind of. Do you have a review of Ombre Sultan? Just bought an older bottle. I do not have a review of Ombre Sultan. Actually, I don't have a review of many of my favorite fragrances because I have full bottles and I assume I have time. And that's one thing that is a little weird about my channel. If you go look at some of the content on there, I have a lot of early impressions because stuff like this, like Civet, I wore it today. I've been wearing it. And, but once this is gone, I don't think I'm going to get a bottle. So this is like my one shot to talk about it on the channel. You know what I mean? And so it's a little weird that I've got all these reviews on these samples and not very many on the ones that I have full bottles of. So that will change at some point soon. It's not just going to be, reviews of samples, but while I have the samples and the bottle will be there. I mean, the bottle's not going anywhere. I figured I would knock some of these samples out and put them in the sample pile and then come back and do full reviews on the ones that I've got full bottles on. I've never smelled a florist fragrance, believe it or not, ever. Never smelled a florist fragrance, Antonio. How crazy is that? Scent of the Day Queer Etalon, Pierre Cardin, 96 bottle. It's almost identical to Queer Moresque. Both came out the same year. Really? Queer Moresque is one of those that just slipped out of my collection. I was not slipped out, but just slipped my mind as far as hunting down a bottle. Or I planned on doing it. I never did. Armando, I know you're big on the leathers like I am. So if you recommend that, I'll check it out. I'll put it on the to sniff list. Actually, let me do it right now so I don't forget. So that's Queer Etalon. Interesting. 96. Discontinued, of course. Spices and leather, my kind of fragrance. That's it. All right, it's on the wish list, man. I'm gonna check that one out. Thanks for sharing. I love hearing about stuff like that. I've never even heard anyone talk about that fragrance before. So you've been bringing some good stuff to the table, Armando. Thank you. All right, let me get number 6 on my skin here so we can start letting it dry. I'll tell you what I think here. Number 6, here we go. Right wrist. Now watch this one be the freaking Cartier Oud or something. All right. Oh, that's good. I mean, it's animalic and barnyard, but it's good. God, how do I keep losing these caps? Here we go. That's really, really barnyardy, and I freaking love it. I love barnyard oud. Oh, it's so fecal, so animalic. You are too kind. Seriously, you don't have to do that, but you are too kind. What's happening? What's going on, Flavor Sauce? I'll send you some of both. Thanks, Antonio. You guys are too kind, man. Seriously. This is really good. Number 6 is animalic, fecal, barnyardy. Ah, good old Equipage. Yes. Couldn't stop myself from doing a half sprush of Dior Homme Parfum over my Dior Homme Intense application. You layer them? Man, that just seems like such a crime. I mean, I understand they're kind of somewhat in the same vein, but I can't get myself to layer. I just can't. I feel like I'm committing some sort of like mortal sin. In my review of Civet, I actually mentioned that, growing up Catholic, I remember the church saying you have to reach like the age of understanding before you can be judged for sin, right? And every person's age of understanding is different, right? Only God knows that, right? That's the line the Catholic Church gives you. And I was saying that once I hit my age of understanding for fragrances, that I absolutely loved Chypres instantly. Like as soon as I understood even what a Chypre was, I was like, yes, that's for me. Chypres are for me. And so, as soon as I came to that age of understanding, I just never could layer ever. It was like I felt like I was going to commit like a mortal sin, and the fragrance gods were going to come down and like strike me down. Morning, Bren. Welcome, my friend. Joan Parfum 2014, beautiful. I've got a 16 bottle, I think, and it's fantastic. Or 17 bottle, something like that. It's beautiful. I love it's a 75 mil. You must repent, Bobby. Declaration, okay? I was just talking about Declaration. Do you like the Parfum version, or are you strictly in love with the OG? I think the Parfum is good. It kind of amps up some of those dirty facets. Great for the cold. Psychedelic patchouli is my favorite note, so this is beautiful. Yeah, I love psychedelic. I have a bottle. I think it's an amazing patchouli. I think the House of Javoy in general is an amazing house. And someone sent me a bottle of. I don't think they wanted to remain anonymous. It was Daver, so I can tell you who it was. Thank you, Dave, by the way, if you're watching. But 21 Conduit Street, really interesting citrus. This would be an amazing summer scent. What I like about it is the citrus stays bitter throughout the whole life of the fragrance, which is very rare. It's a bitter citrus, and you know me and sweetness, right? So this is I mean, I love the fact that all of the Javois I actually purchased, because he actually sent me this out of the kindness of his heart. But the ones I actually purchased, they're all thick and resinous, like Les Jus Sans Fates and, Psychedelic and Private Label, these heavy, thick, winter-like fragrances. And then there's this. And it's like, I'm just not used to something light and citrusy coming in a Javoy bottle. But I love this house. I think it's an amazing niche house. Everything about it is premium, from the cap to the sprayer to the, to the bottle. The bottle feels like it's really high quality glass, thick, heavy, but they don't hit you for premium prices. And you get 100 mils every time. I think they might do 50s, but I only have these 100 mil bottles. Great stuff. I love the House of Javoy. Good scent of the day, Abe. Yes, it is blasphemous. That's right. Yeah, you're right. There is a beautiful rose note in Dune Soir. I think I have a little mini. I do have a little mini. So it came in this little pouch. I got this little mini. It's not really a mini. It's like a 12 mil, more than enough. And it actually comes with an atomizer on it. This is perfect for me, just because I wanted to check out that rose note. And look at this cool little cap. It looks like the cap on the normal Declaration bottles, but it's actually a cap that comes off. Cool little 12 ml that they do. And the rose note is beautiful. They've got a winner with this one. And if you notice, some of the flankers, get discontinued or whatever it is. This one's lasted. I think this has been around like a decade now or something. So, yes. Found Civet Sweet. I see what you mean. I think it's that frangipani. I think that coconutty tropical frangipani gives off this like sweetness. That's the only thing I can think of. There's not very much else in the fragrance that would be sweet. It doesn't seem like it would be a sweet fragrance, right? I don't think I'm going to get a bottle, but I'm lucky. I'm glad I got to test it. It was very kind of Victor Wong to send a couple extra samples with the sample set. So, yeah, it's good stuff. I'm liking what I'm smelling here on number 6. It's coming along nicely. It's still animalic and it's still barnyard. And it's definitely oud focused. I wouldn't be surprised if the notes were like oud, oud, oud with maybe a hint of rose or something, maybe just a touch of saffron. It is heavy oud. Maybe a little bit of amber, something like that. Declaration Parfum was too quiet on you, Rachel. Really? Really? I was thinking some of the watercolory style that Jean-Claude Elena does was kind of amped up in Declaration Parfum. Maybe because it is a parfum, it kind of sits closer to the skin. Declaration was very black peppery. Yeah. There is if you mean, I don't know which version do you mean, Bobby. But I like that peppery, cuminy thing that it has going on. Um, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Declaration. Actually, I'm a fan of Jean-Claude Elena now. If you would have caught me a couple years ago, I would have said I'm not a fan of Jean-Claude Elena. But his style has really grown on me, you know? It's kind of one of those things like with age and wisdom, I've come to really appreciate his style. Yep, likewise. Um, all right, I got to see what this is. We're 25 minutes in. We only did one. It was Oud by Frank Bachlid, which is still interesting. This is pretty darn good. If this can be had for 50 or 60 bucks, it's not bad. I mean, no one talks about it. Mosino Toy Boy, maybe closer to Declaration. Dune Soir, the one with the rose. Ugar. I don't think it's similar to the regular Declaration. Oh, cream-colored cap, Alan. You're just rubbing it in, aren't you? One day I will find a bottle with the cream-colored cap. But you know what? I was sniffing this today, and this is my bottle, and you can see there's no jubilation written here, which is where it's written in the new bottles. And even the previous version, it was written on the side right here. Mine doesn't have it even there, but it is right here on the collar. But it is the magnetic cap, and it's the gold cap. But this stuff is amazing. You know, maybe I don't even need the cream-colored cap version. So I hear the difference is that, you know, this lasts like 8-9 hours, and the cream colored cap version lasts like 12 to 15 hours, which for me, I mean, I reapply during the day anyways, so I don't really care. That kind of longevity isn't an extra selling point to me, because if it's just pumping out while I'm asleep, you know what I mean? Like, whatever, I'll take a shower the next day and wear something else. I got to see what this number 6 is. I'm glad you're here, though, Alan. Thank you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here, man. I got to see what number 6 is because I'm really enjoying this one. Let's do the reveal. All right, here we go. Number 6. What is that? What does it say? Oud Purity by Alexandria. What is Alexandria? Does anyone know? I don't think I've ever heard of that brand. I got to look this up now. What is Oud Purity? Alexandria Fragrances 2022. Is that the is that the Clone House? Alexandria Fragrances, the Clone House. Holy crap. This is very interesting. I like this. I like this a lot. What is this supposed to be a clone of? Does anyone know? What is Oud Purity supposed to be a clone of? Oud Musk and Amber. What did I say? Did I say Amber? At least I called it. No. You should have a channel too, Rachel. Cali clone, Louis Vuitton Oud, I think. Interesting. This is the clone of the Louis Vuitton Oud that's like $1,800. It's very good. I'm not gonna lie. Louis Vuitton Pure Oud clone. Okay. All right. Interesting. This makes me want to smell Louis Vuitton Pure Oud now. But this is very good. This is very good. How can they do this for so cheap? You know, Alexandria, I don't talk about too many clone houses. I don't talk about too many clone houses, but they're one that I've actually had a chance to sniff, and I actually bought a couple because I thought they were good. They made one called Les Chypres, which is supposed to be a clone of Chypre Palaton, and it's actually very good. It's a little bit sweeter than Chypre Palaton. Chypre Palaton kind of focuses on the notes more beautifully, but you know, for 30 mils extra for the price, this is pretty darn good stuff. I don't think I've ever shown this on my channel, by the way, because I love wearing Chypre Palaton, and I don't think it can replace it. I don't think it can necessarily hold a candle to it. As when you really get into the weeds, if you want to put the professor hat on and break it down note by note, Chypre Palaton wins. But if you just want to enjoy the scent profile, this is really damn good. So Alexandria is a house I'm actually pretty impressed by. This is a clone of a Creed, and I forget which one, but it's one of the ones. It's one of the ones. This is Bachetti della Costa. It's one of the. It's one of the Creeds that's like in the $1,000 bottle. Which one is this supposed to be like? Bachetti della Costa, 2017. Here it is. Yeah, it's supposed to be Jardin des Amalfi, which I've never smelled, but this is pretty interesting for a citrus. And as you can see, I usually don't wear this. And then Casanova, which is Alexandria's take on Roja's A Midnight. What the hell is that fragrance that I really despised from Roja Dove? I actually did a video on it. A Midsummer Dream. And this is one I actually think is better than Roja's A Midsummer Dream. For whatever reason. Maybe one day I'll get myself to do a video on Casanova, but I would never buy Roja's A Midsummer Dream because I have this, and I did not like Roja's Midsummer Dream. I think this actually does it better, believe it or not. So, yes, Alexandria is a house that I really like, but this smells expensive. It does. It smells expensive. You could have tricked me. There is a slight vinegar. There's like this vinegary undertone that maybe gives it away. I bet you the Louis Vuitton Pure Oud that's $1,800 or whatever the hell it is doesn't have this undertone. And I bet you that Animalic Blast that's so beautiful in the first couple minutes and is kind of starting to fade now is more prominent and lasts longer. But just to experience the idea of the smell, this is pretty interesting. Time to bring out the heavier scents indeed. Which one do I prefer? Oh man, dude, that is a brutal question. I can't answer that. That's unanswerable. I plead the fifth. Yeah, I would like to smell those Acqua di Parma ouds one day. I'd also like to smell, they have like a oak. They have a couple Acqua di Parmas like that the musky one, not Fate Man. Which musky one? Miss Man? Overture? Oh man, Overture's a masterpiece, dude. There's two cognac fragrances I love on the face of this earth that is just like a pure love for me. Roja's Enigma Pour Homme Parfum and Amouage Overture. Those are two of my favorite cognac fragrances of all time. So yes, Overture is. Have to go, but can't wait to watch the replay. Good night. Good night, Rachel. Thanks for joining. Adios. Have a good night. It is starting to calm down. I will say that. The opening was like amazing for 5 minutes. And now it's starting to calm down, but it's still very good. This is very interesting. Oh man, get them both. I mean, honestly, you're talking two of some of the best that I've smelled. I mean, Yes, I heard the same thing from many people that that Louis Vuitton Pure Oud is extremely hard to get, always sold out, and when it is available, they basically want your firstborn and your kidney. Yeah, there's this grapefruit cuminy opening with Overture, and it kind of dries into this animalic cognac. It's absolutely stunning in the cold. I've been waiting and waiting and waiting to wear that. I'm going to wear that very soon. The the Frank Bachlet really focuses more on the spices and the cumin with like an oody undertone. That Alexandria Purity Oud is really just focusing on the oud and this ambery like quality with some musk. But I like it. I do. I like the Barnyard Oud. The first 5 minutes is stunning on that Alexandria fragrances. I have no clue how they can make something so amazing in the first 5 minutes for so cheap. Yeah, I heard the same thing. Oh shit, that's right. You were telling me about this. They're gonna suggest a fragrance to you, right? Um, oh man, what pressure. What if you don't like the fragrance they're suggesting? You still have to wear it. As the man, don't you get to pick what you want to wear over there, Ugar? Waiting for the cold in Texas. Good luck. Yes, that's right. It is gonna get down to freezing tonight. Maybe I'll wear it tomorrow. That's the thing is sometimes I just need to like wear what I want and screw, testing new stuff and all this stuff. You suggest some. I I don't play that, man. Not no, I don't play that. What I do is I say this is my house and I wear whatever the hell I want to wear, and that's the way we roll. At least here in House Ram. But I wouldn't react well to someone telling me that I could or couldn't wear a fragrance. In fact, I'd probably want to wear the fragrance they were telling me not to wear just because they told me not to wear it. You know what I mean? I have a problem with authority. Let's do number 7. All right, let's go crook of the left elbow for number 7. All right, we're clean. We're clean. Here we go. Ooh, that's ambery as well. That's an ambery start. Ambery and floral. Um, Really nice though. Beautiful opening. Um, Not fecal at all, not challenging at all. The oud in the Purity Oud by Alexandria Fragrances is much more animalic, much more barnyardy. This almost feels like a Guerlain. It almost feels a little bit like the oud in some of their, Middle Eastern lines. It's that kind of style of oud, but with lots of amber, lots of warm, enveloping. There's the amber has a lot of this warmth. My favorite oud. Oh God, that's a tough one, man. It just pure out and out oud that I've smelled. Um, Either Bortnikov's Oud Maximus, or maybe like Arise Ladore's Chinese Oud or Oud Zen or something like that. But those are you're gonna have to find a bottle on the secondary market for Arise Ladore. Um, and he might have a full bottle coming out very soon of a fragrance called Beauty and the Beast. That's a beautiful rose oud. Uh, this Tiger Lust by Ensar is absolutely beautiful. This Tiger Lust right here. If it'll focus. If it'll focus. Let me get my face out of the picture. There you go. Tiger Lust. Pure Parfum. That is absolutely stunning. I'm in love with this fragrance, man. I really want a full bottle, and there's like three types of oud in here, but there's a lot of other animalic notes that I'm in love with, like the civet and castoreum. This smells like a high-end. Excuse me, number 7 smells like a high-end niche, like you know. It smells like you're smelling something that's trying to smell expensive. Double the spray count if they don't like it. That's it. Yes. Alexandria too. I've never smelled that, believe it or not, ever. Portitos was quite floral, almost headache-inducing. Portitos was floral. Dude, we're gonna have to have a intervention with you, man. I don't think you're getting some of the main notes in some of these. I get a ton of castoreum in Portitos. I don't get florals very much in Portitos at all. Do you have Eigner Silver, Duncan? Do you find Eigner Silver in Portitos to have like a connection? Yeah, I know what you mean, Abe. Actually, I found that if you wear some of those scents in the summer, it actually tends to bring out other facets. Wear her instead of Salome in the summer. Liz Moore's for Papillon has a fragrance called Anubis, and Anubis is beautiful in the summer. I wore it this summer actually when I interviewed her on the channel, and I mean the summer heat just made it pop. It made the Egyptian jasmine come out even more. Just absolutely beautiful. Yeah, Oud Infini is another good one. The rose in Oud Infini is beautiful, but it has a lot of civet. I think Oud Maximus is more. I like Oud Maximus even more than Oud Infini personally. Really, I'm gonna have to wear it again. Speaking of florals, I'm getting a lot of florals from number 7. There's definitely a ambery floral like vibe to it with some. I am not that big a fan of Prince fragrance. Actually, I have a video up on the channel called of a fragrance that he did, and it was called Anthamara. And I think there was an oud in this one too, Anthamara by Prin. And this was very challenging for me. I struggled with this one. And I've got some other Prins that I think have some oud or animalic notes in them that I plan on doing a review on very soon. Like, for example, Anatolia at Anatolia. There's one called Varuk, and there's another called Okachol. Okachol. So yes, I've got 3 more Prins that I want to do videos on very soon, but I haven't been taken with his work yet. It hasn't moved me in the same way that Bortnikov or Arise Ladore. Oh, you could get Lao Oud. That would be a good out and out oud because it really showcases the animalic oud. But there's a beautiful coffee note in there. If you want maybe an easier oud to begin with, you could try. I mean, you may not be able to find a bottle, but if you get really lucky, you could go with a bottle of Russian oud. This is a beautiful ambery base. Or you could go with Oud Monarch by Bortnikov. That may be easier to find. Oud Monarch has a lovely chocolate note. Both Oud Monarch and Russian Oud have this amazing chocolate note. That's if you're talking real ouds. I mean, if you just wanted to get, an oud fragrance, you could go with, Interlude Man by Amouage, or start there and then work your way up. Beautiful People, Dhaka, Bangladesh. Never smelled that one, FCM. Never smelled anything from Beautiful People. Arsalan by Prin is tremendous. Never smelled it. I'm an Oud Monarch and Mysterious Oud. Yeah, Mysterious Oud is actually more like it's like an Oriental, like an ambery Oriental take on an oud fragrance. Do you see a similarity between them? Yeah, and man, Musk Kublai Khan is one I really struggle with. Really struggle with. Silver is greater than Cordos. Dude, we're gonna send the Gestapo to your house, Duncan. Put your address in the chat. We're coming to talk to you. JJ bought up the last silver when I sent him a sample, and now I'm pissed. My old man used to have a saying, and he used to say, "No good deed goes unpunished." Remember that. Remember that, Duncan. Does it have any sweet Agarwood scents? Sweet. I don't know about that one, a regular tangent. Arsalan's very animalic, but I love it. Just a warning to sample first. Okay. Interesting. I find Prin to be hit or miss, but I really adore his Arsalan. Okay, interesting. Couple shouts out for Arsalan. Bobby O. All right, let's see what this is that I'm sniffing, what number 7 is. I have to know here. All right, let's see. You guys ready? Number 7. Let's give this the old college try. What's it say? It's a Cartier. Hey, there is a Cartier on here. I had a feeling there was going to be one. This one is Oud Absolute by Cartier. Doesn't seem too doesn't seem too absolute. Feels like the oud in the base is starting to come out a little bit more now. Oud Absolute Cartier 2016. I like this. But it only shows oud as a note, and that is complete crock of shit. I mean, I mostly got florals and amber in Oud Absolute. I got all the 7th collection bottles. Ombre de Coco blew me away. Lasted more than 16 hours on my skin. Which is your favorite? I really did like Ombre de Coco. I like what was the names? Man, I just had the sample set right here. What did I do with it? I think I'm losing my mind. Here it is. All right, so there was come on, you. All right, yeah, Ombre de Coco was one, Beauty and the Beast was another, and Malik Al-Motia, I think, was the other one I really liked. No one talked about. And the Shipra that he created that I thought was an absolute bomb was the one that I thought was just a stunner of a fragrance was Al Majmua. Again, I'm a Shipra lover, so you have to love Shipras. But Al Majmua, I'm going to do a video on these very soon. Amazing Chypre. Stunning. One of the best modern Chypres I think I've ever smelled. The oak moss in the base, the iris, everything smelled high quality. The fruity blackcurrant is perfect. I think this is a stunner. No one talks about that. I mean, obviously all the other ones everyone talks about, Beauty and the Beast and Ombre de Coco and all that stuff. But yeah, I really like the Chypre too. No one talks about that one. So yeah, videos on those coming soon, I hope. Anyway. How many Antaeus bottles do you have, Dom? I've sampled all the Bortnikov ouds and most of the Arish, but my number one oud is still Prin Saringkaren. Never smelled that one. Never smelled that. Well, that's I have no clue about that. Oud Maximus, but struggle finding proper time to wear it. Maybe a late winter vampire party with a goth chick. What's happening, Jonathan? How many Antaeus bottles do you have, please? Do you have 20? Do you have more than 20? I want to know. Yeah, I like the Ombre de Coco. It was really good. This Cartier oud is good. But the fact that they only list oud as a note is a complete crock of shit. There's a ton of florals in here. And there's a ton of amber. There's this powdery, ambery thing going on. Powdery amber is probably a good way to describe the scent, with oud as like a backbone. The fact that they only list oud, excuse me, that's insane. All right, let's get number 8 sprayed. We're just rocking and rolling through these tonight. Number 8. All right, let's go, baby. Be a good one. Be a good one. Decent. If you can see the look on my face, I mean, the oud in the opening feels like something that feels like something that I would expect maybe like one of these like mid-tier niche houses to put out. Like, I'm trying to think of who I would expect this oud to smell like. Maybe like Ronnie J, or maybe like you know, maybe like a mid-tier niche. Like, what's a mid-tier niche? Not an expensive, super niche house, but like maybe something from Imaginary Authors, like if they made an oud or something like that. There's something that feels a little synthetic about number 8. It's probably the most synthetic smelling of the bunch, which is funny because I've got an Alexandria fragrance on one of my, yeah, exactly, Nishane. Yeah, that's a good one. If Nishane did an oud, I would expect it to smell like this. Well, they did do an oud, of course. They have done an oud. Montal. No, it's not that bad. I don't think it's as bad as Montal. Maybe it is. I mean, it could be, but I don't think it's that bad. Parfum de Marly. So I actually have a couple of Parfums de Marly. While we let this dry, I'll just grab them real quick. These are the 2 that I have. I've got Herod, which is too sweet for me, but I wear it anyway because I like the tobacco. And I have Leighton, which I actually think is just easy to wear if you want to smell like a college kid at a bar, and you want to smell like you're wearing something a little more expensive than the college kids at the bar. There you go. I mean, Leighton is, but I like Aventus, I like Layton. I don't hate them just because they're popular. Um, but the house in general, I don't rate. I don't really like Parfums de Marly as a house. I think they're overrated, and I don't like their sister house, Nichio. Yeah, I can't really think of any sweet smelling ouds. Oh, there might be one. Hang on, let me think about this for a second. A regular tangent. Let me look up Bortnikov real quick. Bortnikov. There was one that I remember talking about. Okay, yes, I do. I have a sweet one for you. It's called Sayat Nova. And I actually have a video on my channel. And actually, here it is. Here's the sample. I still have a couple drops left. Sayat Nova. It's a sweet, um, it's a sweet, like fruity, boozy oud. So there's apricot, narcissus in the top, rum and vanilla in the heart, and Laotian oud, Bengali oud, Thai oud, and oak moss. But because there's that rum and apricot, and the apricot feels like apricot preserves, right? Um, it does go sweet. It does go sweeter than most. It doesn't go into the barnyard type of mood. Yes, the original leather oud. I would love a bottle of that. Although to be fair, I have the reformulated modern, and I love it. I maybe because I've never smelled the older version, but I love the newer one. I think I've got a 2018 bottle, if I'm not mistaken. Only 6 to 7. I would say Antaeus Sport. Yeah, my Grail fragrance, Abe, that I actually never thought I would find a bottle of, that I now have multiple bottles of, is Antaeus Sport. And I could, because Texas, it's usually hot. That's a 9, 10 month of the year fragrance for me. And Antaeus, the other two, I mean, if I had to have a signature scent, Bel Ami or Antaeus/Antaeus Sport would be signature scents for me. Although, you know, some of those like big, big, high in my Dior ranking list, like Jules. This could easily be a signature scent. This is the kind of stuff I love to wear. These 80s leathers. Someone mentioned Leonard Poiron. Those are the Grail signature scent fragrances for me. I actually found a very cheap backup of Jules today, stunningly. I won't be able to get it for a while, but I do have a sample of it. Okay, Will, awesome. I'm gonna check it out soon. Dude, I have so many samples to go through. I apologize. I apologize. Thanks, thanks, Stephs. Appreciate it. I'm glad you like the ranked family portraits. I still have YSL. I'm gonna do YSL very soon. I never talk about it. I never talk about Leighton. Um, it gets a lot of hate, and understandably why, because it is very mass appealing. I mean, I've had it for years. I don't know what year. I don't know how to date these late. I don't know how to date these bottles, but I have had it for years. I just, I just hardly ever wear it. I think I've worn it like twice since I've had the bottle. Morning, Justin. Still to decide on a scent of the day. I mean, good luck finding a bottle. I hope you can find one. They are very rare, but if you find one, it is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Back at college with them. Yes, I mean that's it. It really does feel like it's a young man's scent. It feels a little bit juvenile, but it feels a step up from what most kids, in their 20s are wearing, if that makes sense. So, yep, I like Sayat Nova too. I don't think I've really smelled a single Bortnikov that I've ever gone, I don't like that. Everything he does, I think, is good. Yes. I think somebody brought that up to her during our interview. Someone asked that question in the comments, and I think she mentioned that. Stay tuned. It very well may be a possibility. I don't like Hachibad. I mean, here's the way I'd put it. I have 4 bottles of Aventus from 15, 16, and 17 batches, 26, 2015, 16, and 17 batches. I would rather wear that than Hachibad personally. That's it, man. I was eyeballing my Antaeus bottle today. I almost wore it over the civet, but I want to knock out some of these samples because otherwise they just build up and it'll be years and they'll still be sitting there. And I got so many samples to talk about, so I need to force myself to wear these. Although all I want to do is wear Bellamy, Portos, Eigner Silver, my 80s and 70s and 80s Grail, Lagerfeld, Cologne, that's all the stuff I just want to wear over and over again. So I kind of force myself to do these type of, test videos like I did today where I wear it as my scent of the day and talk about it. Because if I don't, they'll just sit there. They'll just accumulate. So number 8, interestingly enough, even with a Frank Bachlet fragrance on this wrist, which is kind of a cheap house, and even with a Alexandria fragrance on this wrist, which is basically a clone house. Number 8 seems like one of the cheaper ingredients. It doesn't seem like the oud in this is high quality at all. There is something underneath, but it's not as polished as the Cartier. Yeah, the Cartier amber feels much more polished. The ambery floral nuances, a little bit powdery, but I really like this Cartier. This might be my favorite from yeah, I would say this is my favorite from all 4 so far. Even though I don't know what number 8 is, number 8 feels like it feels like an Initio. That's what it feels like. It feels like an Initio fragrance. It doesn't feel like a Nishane. It feels like an Initio. Let's see what this is. Is this oud for happiness? Is this oud for happiness? Let's see what this is. Ready? Let's do it. Let's do it. What is it? Tell me. I can't see. What is this? Oud Mystique by, what is that brand? Equiniste? I gotta look this up. Oud Mystique. You guys know this one? Mystique. Oud Mystique by Ediniste. Ediniste. I'm back scuba diving, huh? I wonder why that happens. It still says I'm connected to my Wi-Fi. Why is my mic going scuba diving? I am blaming StreamYard. Screw you, StreamYard. I paid good money for you, you bastard. Divana, frankincense, apricot, osmanthus absolute, suede, labdanum, and oud. Oh, snap. Okay, listen to this. Listen to this. So, the perfumer of the... Okay, here is the Newt from Orbit. Remember how I said this smells cheap? The perfumer of this is Aurélien Guichard, the same perfumer of Oud 7, the Matrier Premier perfumer that I didn't like on my inside of the crux of my elbow in the first video, that I said smelled like a Lattafa fragrance, the brand that does Falcon leather. God damn it. I mean, I guess I don't like this guy. You know what else he made, by the way? Eros. That was his claim to fame. Although he did work with Nathalie Lorson on This Is Him, and I really like This Is Him. I think This Is Him is one of the most underrated incense fragrances of all time. I think This Is Him has done to incense what Encre Noir did for vetiver. That's my heavy quote of the day. This Is Him has done for incense what Encre Noir has done for vetiver. But he worked on it with Nathalie Lorson. And Nathalie Lorson, I think her DNA is all over this. This smells much more like her work than it does this A Really Angry Shark. You know what else he made that I absolutely despise? Salvatore Uomo. In 2016, he worked on that with Alberto Morias. And he did Burberry Hero, which is also shite. And he did the new Trussardi Uomo, which is shite. The one from 1983 that looks like this is absolutely amazing. This is one of my favorite leathers of all time. Speaking of all-time great leathers to buy, if you can buy the vintage 1983 version, this is a scan-in bottle, but any bottle that looks like this, get it. Anyone that looks like it's got the new like duckbill head, or it doesn't look like this, you'll notice it's got stuff on the sides. Don't get the 2011 version. They butchered it. He did that. All right. So I don't think I like this guy. Everything he makes smells cheap to me for some reason, and I can pick it out like that. So there you have it. Death Star is now in range. Am I back? Am I back to sounding right? Come on, Mike. I have Etruscan water. I like it. I don't love it. If you like that style, I would say just go buy a vintage bottle of Azure by Estee Lauder. And I did a video on Under My Skin within the last month or two. You can go check it out. And I did say I liked it. I like that style of fragrance. It's just that since I already own a full bottle of what I consider probably the greatest fragrance in that genre, which is called Bala Versailles. So I own Bala Versailles already, and I have a video up on this. You can go check it out. And get the fuck out of here, Duncan. I'm sending the guys with the straight jacket to your house, dude. Are you talking about the new one I was bashing, or the 83 version? Because we're about to fight. We're gonna fight with pool sticks on guard. But the other fragrance that you could try, Ajay, if you like Under My Skin, is get Papillon's Salome. Salome is absolutely amazing. I think it's way better than Under My Skin. And I think Liz Morris is just a better perfumer than Francesca Bianchi, personally. Sorry to say that. Sorry to say that, but it's true. Yeah, A Really Angry Richard, or whatever his name is, just his style just doesn't match with me. Other than This Is Him, and I give credit to Nathalie Lorson for that. He hasn't done a single thing that I like. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Oud 7 is shit. He did Tommy Loud for him, which sucks. Just because it has a little patchouli in it. They tried to sell it. Don't talk it up too much. Dude, Roja stuck this on the fifth floor of Harrods in his little, perfume museum he has up there, and basically said that this is one of the most iconic fragrances of all time. And if you look, I don't know if you can see it. I might have to open it, but look what real civet does to the look what real civet does to the atomizer. Look at the stain, if it'll focus. Look at the stain on that from the civet. Just amazing. Oh God, it is so good, man. Okay, and how about the bottle? I mean, look at that piece of art. A harp? Is that a harp on top? I mean, why don't they make stuff like this anymore? Tell me. Please tell me. The packaging, everything. The little gold piece that goes around it. I mean, the embroidery, just too bad. Too bad, man. It's too bad this is lost to history. Yep, it's incredible. Agreed, Jonathan. I don't think they're in the same league at all. Dior Eau Sauvage Fraîcheur Queer is a must-try if you like leather. Really? I have never smelled that. Is it discontinued? Let me look this up. Dior Eau Sauvage Fraîcheur Queer. Oh, nothing came up. Maybe I misspelled something. Here we go. Fraîcheur Queer 2007. It is discontinued. It is discontinued. Lemon, cedar, amber, and leather. But you have to remember, Steps, that I love my leathers to be animalic and challenging. And if that's a citrusy, bright leather, it's probably not my thing. That's the Pure Parfum. This one's the Pure Parfum. So, yeah, I mean, this is 20. This is 20. How big are you? How big are you? Tell me. Reveal your secrets. I think it's like 26 mils or something of Pure Parfum. 23 or 26 or something like that. But if you like that style, if you like Under My Skin by Francesca Bianchi, that's the OG. I really like this Alexandria fragrances. Ooh, it's pretty impressive for whatever it is, super cheap. I really don't like that final one, the Oud Mystique by Edeniste. So far from the list, here's the whole list. Oud 74 by Swiss Arabian was very good, a very good cheapie. Oud 777 by Steven Humbert Lucas was an amazing, like, ambery fragrance. Amber with a touch of oud. I really like that one. That's discontinued. Oud 7 by Maitria Premier was the shittiest fragrance on the list. Ilm by Chemi Blending Magic was a little animalic and challenging, but the oud did smell high quality. I enjoyed it. And Oud by Frank Bachlet is a lot of cumin, a lot of spices, and maybe a little bit of freshness of ginger, I think, with a touch of that oud underneath. And Oud Purity by Alexandria is actually a really good barnyardy take on an oud. I can't believe that's an Alexandria. That is stunning to me. Oud Absolute by Cartier, I really like. This is one. It's so smooth. It's so, I mean, like a 12-speed Mercedes smooth. You don't feel a thing with this Oud Absolute by Cartier. But the fact they only list oud is absolutely crock of shit. There's lots of florals and lots of ambers in it. A ton of amber in here. Actually, when I sprayed it, I mostly got amber. And then this Oud Mystique by Eden East is shit. It's the same materials this perfumer is using in this Oud 7. The same brand, same perfumer, same brand. It feels like it's, like it's its sister brand. Is it a sister brand? Does anyone know? It's an Eau Sauvage with a light leather. Yeah, I probably wouldn't go for that, man. I like the animalic and challenging leathers more. Like my number one leather is Bellamy, vintage Bellamy. I also do like Bellamy vetiver, and I mentioned Dior Jours. That's an amazing leather. Trussardi Uomo is an amazing leather. Um, Fendi Uomo from the late '80s is an amazing leather. What else are some of my favorite leathers while we're on the list here? Let's see, what did I say? Diaghilev has an amazing leather note, although it's mostly a sheepra. Cuir de Russie by Chanel is something I really like. Eau de Hermes has a good leather note in it. Polo Green has an interesting leather in it. Guerlain's Derby has an interesting leather in it. That Santa Maria Novella, Eau de España, is that what it was called? Peau de España, amazing. One of the best leathers I have ever smelled that is not in my collection in a full bottle. That Santa Maria Novella is, I have to tip my hat to Armando for finding that and sending it to me. What a leather that is. But Guerlain's Derby is amazing as well. Etro Goma is one of the best leather fragrances that no one talks about. Etro Goma in the vintage eau de cologne will hold its weight with anything, any leather. Here's another one that no one talks about that I love, and I hate this house, and you guys know I hate this house, but this is a good fragrance. It's Xerjoff Homme. Xerjoff Homme is Xerjoff's best fragrance to me. It's deep, it's dark, it's mysterious, it's resinous. Oh, I need to wear that soon. Oh, God, it's so good. Xerjoff Homme is like if you took Canitze 10 and updated it with some of the best ingredients you could find, and made it deeper, darker, richer. And I love Canitze 10, of course. That's another one. But Xerjoff Homme is one that I just can't believe more people don't talk about. I guess because it came out in 2007. It has that caraway note that I love. It's got that iris note that I love. And it's got this smoky birch in the dry down. There's like this smoky, animalic, leathery, birchy, smoky dry down. Amazing with some woods and what smells like real ambergris. It's good stuff. I would highly recommend Xerjoff Homme. So I need to wear this soon. Many leathers I need to wear. Even that Creed Royal English leather, that's a good leather. That's probably one of Creed's better fragrances no one talks about. But I'll put Eau Sauvage Fraîcheur Cuir on my list to sniff, but I won't pay crazy money for it. You know what I mean? It'll have to fall in my lap, or someone will have to send me a sample or something just so I can talk about it. There's just too many perfumes out there. There's just so many fragrances, and they keep coming nonstop. I see Ducita has a new fragrance called La Rhapsodie Noire, coffee and rum and cigars and patchouli. Cuir Intense by Guerlain's a good leather. That's a good one. Irregular Tangent. Yes, I really do like that. I'm a big fan of Cuir Intense. And what's funny is no one talks about this one, at least not in any positive way. But I really like it. I'm a big fan. Um, that's really good. You know what else is really good? No one talks about as a leather. Um, this. This is Queer Ottoman by Parfum d'Empire. I'm a big fan of this house. Now, I haven't smelled everything. There's some that people I really trust say is shite. Like Iskander is one I hear is really bad. I've never smelled that one. But Queer Ottoman is fuck. This holds its own with Roja's Great Britain, which is like a $2,000 leather fragrance. This holds its own with Roja's Great Britain. Queer de Lancôme, yep, that's a good one. That's very floral, lots of big floral fragrance. But I really like the leather in the base. It's great. I enjoyed it. I'm so glad to have a bottle of that too, because I hear it's getting harder and harder to find. Queer Canage by Dior, that's a good leather. I really like that. That iris and leather combination is a big winner for me. I talked about that yesterday. Who is Queer Ottoman by? It is by Parfum d'Empire. Parfum d'Empire. It's so good, man. I need to wear this soon. Maybe I'll wear that tomorrow, to be honest with you. I know I've said that about like 12 things, but let me put this on the potential to wear list. Is vintage English leather worth picking up? Yes. Yes, it is. Absolutely. Yes. 100%. 100%. Just try to get a bottle that said, Dana perfumes. Don't get one that says New Dana. Ombre leather is on sale for 72 bucks at Sephora. Oh, speaking of Tom Ford and ombre leather, rumor is Estee Lauder is in talks, finalized talks, like they're about to announce it on Monday to buy Tom Ford for $2.8 billion. Now, Estee Lauder already, I think, owns their perfume division, but they're in talks to buy the entire company. Big news. That's pretty big news. Yes, very decent prices. These are very under. I mean, I don't want to say underpriced because I think they're fairly priced, but they could ask a lot more. They're very fair. Yes, Tuscan leather. Absolutely. Tuscan leather is a great leather. I love Tuscan leather. Rania J, I haven't smelled that one yet. I have a sample of it. I have a sample right here, actually, thanks to Shiva. He sent me the whole Rania J sample set, so I have a sample of it in here. That Queer Andalou or whatever it's called, I think that's a Spanish leather. So I will talk about it soon, hopefully, very soon. So yeah, leather's my favorite. Turkish leather, eh? Is there a Turkish leather? Uh, sorry, I'm slow. Yes, Turkish leather. Exactly. That should be the name of a fragrance. There should be a Turkish leather. What do you guys think? I would buy it. Just put out a Turkish leather, make it animalic and challenging, and I'm all over it. But Queer Ottoman has this beautiful iris leather combo, but it also has this lots of resins in it, so it's really resinous, labdanum and tolu balsam and frankincense, and it's beautiful. I love it. I'm a huge fan. Oof, Chanel number 19. I prefer the EDT because I think the EDT is a little bit more masculine. I think the EDP brings the florals out a little bit more personally. That's my take. Prin has a Turkish leather. Really, there is a Turkish leather. Let me look this up. Turkish leather. There is a Turkish leather. Holy shit. Prin Parfum, suede, leather, locum, pimento, caramelized dates, cacao powder, French cistus, ambergris, Laotian oud, frankincense, and raki. That sounds like an amazing note listing. Is this brand any good? I'm going to put this on the wish list just because. Prin Parfum's Turkish leather is discontinued, of course. Of course. There was a house that did Turkish leather. I think they did Charlatan too. It's phenomenal, really. Is it Anatolia, Anatolia? Dude, Armando, you have to stop with these long lost hidden gem leathers I've never heard of. Tomato leather. Are you fucking with me? Is there a tomato leather? I don't see it. I don't see any tomato leather, dude. What's the brand? Cognoscenti? All right, I'm going to look it up. Number 16, you say, eh? Leathery, smoky, scent number 16. Okay. It's leathery. Leather, tobacco, oud, tomato leaf, linden blossom, clary sage, frankincense, benzoin, myrrh. Anatolia, Anatolia and Anatolia are not the same fragrance. How confusing is that? Are they screwing? I think Prin's screwing with us, man. Let me put this scent number 16 by Cognoscenti on the wish list. All right, it's on it. It's on the never-ending wish list. House of Memo. I hate the House of Memo, man. They are so boring. Their scents are so boring. Like they do not belong in a niche bottle. They belong in a designer bottle. Man, this Cartier Oud is really smooth. I really like it. And this final one really sucks. I really don't like that perfumer. Ediniste and Maitria Premier. Does he do all the fragrances for Ediniste? Edenis. Let's see if he does them all. Yep, he did Energy. He did Happiness. He did Jasmine. I think he did. I think he's done them all. I think this is the sister. I think we just found the sister house of fucking Maitrier Premier. Hey, Natalia. Thanks for joining. Highly recommend Safari Extreme. But okay, so that is on my to sniff list. Yes, absolutely. Yes. I almost blind bought the fucking thing, but I just, too many perfumes, not enough money to go around. They have some in the whole line that might be worth it, but I think like 3 at most, but Memo stuff is not. It's really just boring. It's boring. It's not for perfume heads like us, I don't think. It's for people that buy stuff like this. That's what it's for. Yes, agreed, Alan. This Cartier is really good. But then again, I've never smelled any of the high-end lines, so I'm curious what else is hidden. Excuse me. Prada Desert Serenade, really. Also, Prada has one called Queer Ambra, I think it's called. Yeah, Queer Ambra, which Armando sent to me. This is really, really good. I really like this one. If you're a Russian leather fan, you have to try Queer Ambra. I know it's hard to come by now, but fuck, it's good. Man, I guess we kind of got off on a tangent, eh? We went from blind sniffing to all of a sudden this turned into a best leather stream. What other leathers are awesome out there that I don't know about? Hit me. I'm making my wish list right now. Desert Serenade. Man, I gotta jot that down. Desert Serenade. Prada's Olfactories line. Olfactories. Still available. Leather cumin, saffron, honey, cypress, and musk. Interesting. It's already on my wish list. How about that? It's already on the wish list. Queer by Molinard. It's not bad. Yeah, I've got a bottle of that. It's not bad. Okay, there's a house I want to dig into. Orto Parisi. I've never smelled anything from them. But this, I'm not going to be able to pronounce this. Quoium is already on the wish list. It's actually the #1 Orto Parisi I want to try. Yes, I have it, I think. I've got a couple from this purple line. Let's see. Yeah. So the two I have are Queer and Patchouli. And I think I like the Queer a little bit more than the Patchouli. The Patchouli has this industrial grade, like I don't know, like paint thinner thing. Quilliam is on eBay for 99 bucks. Seller has 10. Ah, shit. How do you always find these sellers with like 10 bottles, Armando? Richard James Seville Rowe. Suede leather vintage is best. I'm not familiar with that house at all. What do I look up? Seville, Savilerow. Richard James Seville Rowe. How do I distinguish vintage here, Magnum? What's the vintage for a Richard James? This is a suede fragrance. Tuberose in it. Holy moly. Lanvin Rumor, eh? Lanvin Rumor, 2007. 2007 or the 1934 extract? An animalic chypre. Oh, this is made by Andre Frace, one of the greatest perfumers of all time, man. The chypre of chypres, question mark? Yeah. This is a grail fragrance, isn't it, Will? Kajal Yasmina, eh? I've never heard of that one. Kajal Yasmina, 2019. Okay. All right. It's going on the list. It's going on the to-wish list. Bacanera ain't no joke. That's already on the wish list. No, I don't ever trust those people. So I just if I come across one, I'll try it. If not, I don't go down the list and try them all. 1934, Sturkis by Orto Parisi. Yes. Orto Parisi seems like it's a brand I need to check out. I hear that's like his the brand he's willing to take some more chances with on. So that's good stuff, man. You guys are filled with knowledge. I don't know any of these. But then again, I like to stick to the old school stuff. I know stuff like this. I love this Trussardi Uomo vintage. Oh man, it's because I cut you off for saying dumb shit, Duncan. Yasmin and a number of Kajal are great. I'll text you. Okay, nice. Thanks, Jonathan. Yeah, that's good stuff. I actually have a Kajal that I plan on doing a sample or a early impression of. It's called, I think someone sent this to me. It's called Lamar. Um, Lamar by Kajal, but I've never smelled anything else from the house. I think it's like a fruity type fragrance from just sniffing the atomizer, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't know anything about the house of Kajal. That's the thing. There's so many houses and they just like spring up out of nowhere, you know? Orto Parisi Bergamusk is the worst thing I've ever smelled. I tried to scrub it off instantly, but it lasted 24 hours. Oh man, that is rough, dude. Rough. Ubar, really, the one that everyone shit on? I could have sworn everyone just shit all over Ubar. Said it was one of the worst things they've ever smelled. The 1995 Ubar or the 2009 Ubar? Armando, which one? The 95 Ubar is a spicy Oriental. The 2009 is a floral Oriental. Okay, it's going on the wish list. Anything Amouage, I guess I got to put on the wish list. I think I might know where to get a bottle of that. That plum fragrance, plum and cognac. There is no doubt about it, dude. That is absolutely the truth, 100% the truth. Memo Paris is just a shite house. Everything they put out there is $250, and it all smells like it belongs in a designer bottle for $40. They left out Dior Homme O and Aqua in the Dior Homme family portrait. Actually, I showed Dior Homme O in the very beginning. I have a little sample. But what I left out was Dune. Hang on. I left out Dune, which is amazing fragrance. I left this one out. I almost like just did the whole video over. I was so pissed because Dune for women is stunning. Does anyone else get like a wisp of incense when you smell Dune? I get like this incensey, like this aldehydic incensey rosewood, like burning rosewood, with lots of beautiful florals. It's amazing. I really like it. I really like Dune. And I forgot to include it in the Dior video. And the other one I left out, which I actually have a video on my channel on, interestingly enough, is Eau Noir. So Rich Mitch sent me a couple of these little babies from the Green Juice Eau Noir. And I did a video on it, and I really liked Eau Noir. I think it's probably one of Francis Kirkjohn's best creations. But the problem is I own Amouage Sunshine Man, and I think Sunshine Man is superior to Eau Noir. So I would never buy a bottle of Eau Noir, but it deserved to be on the Dior countdown. I forgot it. So I'm like, I'm a little let down, but I'll just put it in the honorable mentions after the video. Instant compliments, bro. Loving your early videos, Jonathan. Good job, man. That's good stuff. Well, I guess we're at an hour and 40 minutes or whatever it comes to. So this has been fun. I will tell you what, this Cartier is really growing on me. I'm really liking this Cartier Oud Absolute or whatever it's called. I think the Cartier Oud Absolute and the Stefan Humbert Lucas Oud 777 are my two winners of the blind sniff. Although there are some other amazing ones in here. There's also a couple shit ones in here. But yeah, I appreciate my perfume god person. Thank you for sending these to me. Getting my nose on some stuff I've never smelled before is awesome. And man, I got a lot of content to do for you guys. So you just went up 2.3 points. Thank you, Duncan. Thank you. Sunshine Man is superior to Eau Noir. I will not hear any arguments to the otherwise, other than the fact that maybe Eau Noir came first. So I guess it gets props for being a trailblazer. But Sunshine Man, I think, is superior in every way if you just go fragrance to fragrance. So, but anyways, appreciate you guys joining on a Friday night. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for being a part of this. Thanks to everyone in the chat. Jonathan, Duncan, Bren, Bobby Ono, Armando, Will. Appreciate you guys joining. Ajay, Julio. Very much appreciate it. Rachel, Alan, Magnum, Natalia, you guys are awesome. Appreciate it. So I'll catch you guys later. Cheers. See you tomorrow. Bye now.